Hey guys, DesktopEthics here. Today I decided that I wanted to talk about free software versus open source software, and basic ideas and the sort of ethics and morals behind that. And I'm gonna try and keep myself from backing into any corners with opinions or anything like that. Um, and just try and state facts and make logical uh, assumptions based on those facts, and see where it gets us in terms of ethics, whatnot. Basic ideas of right and wrong. Okay, so first of all, the difference between those two. Right, open source is let's start with free. Free is, it's free. You don't have to pay for it, is what it says. But it's not necessarily entirely without cost, because there's all kinds of stuff that usually gets involved with free software. Now, it can be, sometimes it's higher quality than open source software, but open source software is sort of a different idea. And I'm going to continue with the idea of free software, and then I'll get to the open source. So free. Now, free does not mean it. Free usually has some sort of paid, the premium version attached to it. So you have a free version of a program, or something like that, and you have trial version with an unlimited trial date, and that could be considered free. But there's always that, it usually nags you and wants you to buy the more expensive version, which, I mean, if you can just sort of shut it out, then that's fine, you can deal with that. But maybe you don't like that, so there's two possibilities there. So they're sort of taking advantage of some people who get worn down easily over time. So it's not quite fair that way. But you have open source software, which is completely different from free, because it's yes, it costs nothing, but it's there's no owner. You can redistribute it as much as you want. You can it usually has no ads or anything attached with it, and it's not always as user friendly, because it's usually designed by a person with one function or two functions, few functions, I should say, in mind. It's short, small, easily accessible bits of code that you can maybe portable, whatever. But the point I'm trying to get to is it's not not a lot of time or effort put into making it. Now that's not fair to say. It's not developed for consumers. It's not developed to make money, obviously, because there's no way you're making money. Whereas free programs, you are in fact making money. I can show you a free program right here. I have Real Player right here. Now, Real Player is this free program. It's a video player, it's also a converter, and it goes into your browser, so you can download YouTube videos. And it's probably going to set me up some sort of reminder here. Yeah, there's up in the corner here, it says Get Real Player Plus. Has ads down here. Yeah, that it looks like, oh, update now. No, it's not. It's not a warning. It's an ad to get the better version of it. Every once in a while it pops up a notification over here just when I start up the computer. It says trying to get me to update to or upgrade to the Plus. So it's kind of annoying, but I just deal with it. Now, open source software. Let's see if I can find a program that's open source. Oh, I know one. There it is. Now this isn't even an installable program. It's completely portable. Like I was talking about before, this is yummy. All this does is you pick an ISO file, and it makes any image file bootable on any flash drive. So it makes a flash drive, well, assuming the flash drive can hold the image file. So you can take any random image file, and it makes basically a small bootable virtual machine with the ISO file as the main drive, and boots off of it. And the reason I say it's a virtual machine, it runs almost natively, but because it's an image file, it can't really technically run natively, but it's not like it runs within your operating system. You do shut the computer down and boot off of the flash drive. Anyway, this has one function and one function only, no ads or anything like that. It's simple, it's real, this is basically it. And once you pick the drive and select the ISO, it just runs on its own. It's not pretty, it pops up with a window. It's got green text on it that closes after it's done. But it has one purpose, and that's open source. It's never going to ask you, oh, buy the full Yummy Pro or whatever. So that's the difference between those two. Now, we've already started to talk about how free could be, a little bit annoying, but there's a reason, because free programs tend to be output by actual companies, people looking to make money on the item. Even if they have a free version or a completely free program for that matter, they need compensation for it. So they usually try to ride on the fact that their software is free, so they attract more people, but they really have costs. Like maybe you have to put your email in and you get constant junk mail from them, or worse yet, you have to make an account or something, and they give your information to other companies. They sell it so they can make a little money, and then those companies send you more and more nonsense and ads, and or still worse yet, when you install the program, it installs adware along with it, and you get pop-ups of little windows with ads, or it slows your computer down, which can be very annoying. But adware is perfectly legal. It's just you gotta really watch out that your free programs aren't installing with that stuff. But that being said, so now I really made free programs sound pretty crappy right now. They are usually there's usually more quality put into a free program. We're going to call them the free program versus the open source program, because it is usually made by a company, or maybe somebody who's developing software to be used by the common person, and widely, and maybe for a wide range of purposes. So that's your differences between them. And now, is one right, is one wrong? I don't know. Do you have a preference between open source versus something that open source being completely free and maybe not the greatest program, but it works, it's solid usually. It tends to be created by people who have less the user in mind and more the purpose in mind. So your purpose will be good, but will you be able to figure out how to use it? So maybe open source is for the more advanced computer user. and free programs are for the less advanced computer user. But then, having that in mind, less advanced computer user is going to be less competent when it comes to trying to avoid being, not really scammed, but weaseled into making them pay for the program, because sometimes these programs can be pretty convincing. It says, you can't get into it at all unless you buy it, but there's some small way of getting around it once you've got the software in your computer of, just keeping using it. Maybe you have to just exit a little window every time you open it up, and every time you open it up, and maybe the less experienced computer user falls for their tricks. So that's another thing you have to take into account. People who are using free software because it's easier and to learn how to use and easier to just use on the fly might be getting scammed more often, or not scammed, but it's not free anymore when they have to sell their email addresses or actually buy different versions of it. Also, another common thing is that CNET does this, and it pisses me off a lot when CNET, because CNET, if you didn't know already, has a wide range of programs that you can download from them, all free programs. Now let me just try CNET downloads. Oops, no, I didn't mean to hit. Sorry about that. Downloads. Okay. So they have tons of software on here, but a lot of times you download it and you get to a little downloader, and so you end up having a little program on your computer that you have to go through and pick the program that you want to download out of it. And when I say that, I mean like it's going to see, all right, do you accept the program that you wanted to download, user terms and conditions, or do you want to decline it? And if you decline it there, then it shuts down, or it closes, and you can't download your program. But if you say yes and you move on, and you have another program that maybe looks real similar to yours in the little window that says terms and conditions, but you're actually installing a program that was completely not what you wanted. Let's see if I can get it to do this with one of these. Alright, that should start to download if it doesn't. Okay. There. Lagging a little bit, I guess, because yeah, see, open the installer, click yes to run, but this isn't the actual installer for Malwarebytes, unless it is. I would be very surprised if it is. Let's see. Oh, and it actually is the real setup for it. It's like I said before, it's not every time, but they do this sometimes. You download it and it's really annoying. You have to make sure you don't install all that secondary software that they pay the original program to have sort of piggyback on that program's installer, so they can get more software out there and pump more adware into your computer, which is really annoying. So now those are my ideas on free software versus open source software. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and if you have any possible ideas for another video, let me know in the comments or personal message me, but please be sure to subscribe. That's it. Till next time, guys.